Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Putri Yurika Sari. Okay, I will explain about the grading and student evaluation. Okay, next. Okay, philosophy of grading. Where should grades reflect? From Like and Work 2008, best grades on student achievement and achievement only. Grades should represent the extent to which the intended learning commons were achieved by students. They should not be contaminated by student effort, tardiness, misbehavior, and other extraneous factors. If they are permitted to become part of the grade, the meaning of the grade as an indicator of achievement is lost. Grades in the realm of education standardized measurements of varying levels of comprehension within a subject area, okay, such as guidelines for selecting grading criteria, calculating grades, absolute and relative grading, and teachers' perception of appropriate grade distribution. Okay, guidelines for selecting grading criteria, consistency. Be consistent with an institutional philosophy. Embedded in institutional philosophies are the implicit extensions that students place on a school or program, and your attention to those impressions is worth it. Okay, transparency. All of the components of a final grade need to be explicitly stated in a writing to students at the beginning of a term of study, with a distinction of percentages or weighting figures for each component. Okay, specificity. Challenge yourself to create checklists, charts, and note-taking systems that allow you to convey to the student the basis for your conclusions. It is further advisable to guard against final week imprecise nitpick. Summative decisions by giving ongoing periodic feedback to students on such matters through written comments or conferences. Okay, checklist evaluation, usually over yes or no format in relation to student demonstrations of specific criteria. They may be used to record observation of an individual, a group, a whole class. Okay, rating. Finally, consider allotting relatively small weight to items so that a grade primarily reflects achievement. Okay, the guidelines form is the both morphology and syntax. Grammatical meaning consists of both rhetorical and intended message that the form conveys. Pragmatic or implied meaning result from the appropriate language choice a learner makes during a given communicative event. Grammatical knowledge occurs at the sentence or beyond sentence level. Okay, teacher's perception of appropriate grade distribution. This teacher may hypothetically subscribe to a pre-selected set of expectation, but in practice may not conform to those expectations. Okay, and the last, their good nature and empathy for students predispose them toward assigning grades that were higher than the standards and expectations. Okay, most teacher bring to a task or a course evaluation and interpretation of estimated appropriate distributions, follow that interpretation and make minor adjustment to compensate for such matters as unexpected difficulty. Okay, next, relative grading, the system of assessment in which student grades are determined by comparing them against their peers of the class. For example, a commonly followed relative grading will be A, top 10% of students, B, next 25% of students, C, middle 13% of students, D, next 25% of students, V, bottom 10% of students. Relative grading usually accomplished by ranking students in order of performance and um, point for greater and older relatively uncommon method of relative grading is what has been called a grading on the curve. Okay, next. What do letter grades mean? And institutional manuals for teachers and students typically list the following descriptors of letter graders: A. Excellence, B. Good, C. Adequate, D. Inadequate or unsatisfactory, A. Failing or unacceptable. Okay, I think enough. Thank you for attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.